upbeat, playful music starts. Hey there, cat mums and cat dads. Let's paint a picture. You see your fluffy overlord looking majestic. You think it's time for a little spa session. You pull out the brush and poof! Your cat vanishes into thin air like a furry magician. Or worse, they give you that look, the one that says, you have chosen death. You approach and suddenly you're in a wrestling match with a creature that is 90% claws and righteous indignation. Sound familiar? Do you think they're just being dramatic? Or are we, the humble human staff, doing something terribly, terribly wrong? Well, today we're exposing the truth. We're diving deep into the 5 deadly mistakes you might be making when brushing your cat and how to fix them, turning grooming time from a battle into a bonding experience. Before we start, do me a favour. Drop your fluffy villain's name in the comments and tell us what their signature move is to avoid the brush. Now, you might be thinking, cats clean themselves, right? They have that weird sandpaper tongue for a reason. And you're absolutely right. Cats are meticulous groomers. That tongue, covered in tiny backward-facing hooks called papillae, is like a built-in comb. It's nature's perfect tool for removing loose fur, dirt, and the evidence of that snack they stole off your plate. But here's the thing. Our modern indoor kitties often need a helping hand, especially our long-haired divas like Persians or ragdolls, whose fur can quickly turn into a tangled mess. Even short-haired cats can struggle as they get older, or if they're a bit on the chonky side and can't quite reach their lower back. Our role isn't to replace their natural grooming, but to be their trusted 5-star spa assistant, helping them stay comfortable, healthy, and mat-free. Alright, let's get into it. The first and most common crime against catkind, the ambush. You see your cat peacefully snoozing in a sunbeam. They look so calm, so vulnerable. Your human brain screams, now is the time! You creep forward, brush in hand, like a predator stalking its prey. And in that moment, you've already lost. Cats are masters of their domain. They value routine and predictability. Ambushing them during their sacred nap time is a violation of the highest order. It instantly triggers their fight or flight instinct, and you're teaching them that the brush is a scary object that appears without warning to ruin their peace. This single act can create a negative association that lasts a lifetime. Think of it this way. How would you feel if someone tried to give you a haircut while you were fast asleep? You'd wake up swinging, right? Your cat feels the exact same way. Respect the nap, respect the space, and never, ever ambush. So if ambushing is out, what's in? It's all about creating the right vibe. You need to become a master of feline feng shui. The perfect time to introduce the brush is when your cat is already in a calm, relaxed, and happy state. Maybe after a good meal, when they're feeling content and a little sleepy. Or perhaps after a fun play session, once they've burned off all that chaotic, zoomy energy. The location matters too. Choose a quiet, comfortable spot where they feel safe, like their favourite chair or a soft spot on the bed. Make sure there are no loud noises or other pets around to distract or startle them. Your energy is also crucial. If you're stressed and anticipating a fight, your cat will pick up on that immediately. Take a deep breath, relax, and approach the situation with a calm, gentle demeanour. Your goal is to make them think, oh, this strange human ritual is actually a new and rather pleasant form of petting. It's about seduction, not submission. Now for deadly mistake number 2, using the wrong weapon. Tool. You wouldn't use a hammer to wash your dishes, right? Well, walking into a pet store and grabbing the first brush you see is the feline equivalent. Different cats have different coats and they require different tools. Using a harsh brush on a cat with sensitive skin or a brush that doesn't penetrate a thick undercoat is a recipe for disaster. For our long-haired royalty, a stainless steel comb is essential for working through potential tangles, and a slicker brush can help with the undercoat. For our sleek short-haired friends, a rubber curry brush or a grooming mitt can be a game changer. These are gentle, feel like a massage, and are amazing at grabbing all that loose fur before it ends up on your black pants. Having the wrong tool can make brushing ineffective at best and downright painful at worst. It's time to analyse your cat's fur and invest in the right arsenal. Let's talk more about that slicker brush. This is one of the most common brushes out there, with all those fine, bent wire bristles. It's fantastic for cats with medium to long fur and a thick undercoat, as it's designed to remove loose fur and prevent matting. But with great power comes great responsibility. Many people use this brush with too much force, scraping the delicate skin underneath. This is what we call brush burn, and it's incredibly painful for your cat. Imagine someone aggressively scratching your scalp with a bunch of sharp wires. You'd hate it too. The key is to use light, gentle strokes. Never press down hard. The goal is to glide through the fur, not dig into the skin. Think of it as gently teasing out the loose fur, not trying to excavate it. A light touch is all you need to make the slicker brush an effective and pleasant tool in your grooming kit. On the other end of the spectrum, let's praise the magic of the rubber brush, sometimes called a curry brush. If you have a short-haired cat, this thing is your new best friend. It might not look as impressive as a complex metal brush, but its power is in its simplicity and gentleness. The soft rubber nubs are perfect for removing loose hair from the top coat without irritating the skin. In fact, for most cats, this feels less like brushing and more like a lovely massage. It stimulates blood circulation and distributes the natural oils in their skin, which leads to a healthier, shinier coat. It's also an excellent starter brush for kittens or cats who are suspicious of grooming. It introduces them to the sensation in a non-threatening way. Plus, the collected fur peels off these brushes in a satisfying sheet, which is a small, simple joy for any cat owner who's tired of living in a furnado. For those of you owned by a fluffy cloud, like a Maine Coon or a ragdoll, the comb is not optional, it is law. A good, quality stainless steel greyhound comb with both wide and fine teeth is your #1 tool against the eternal enemy, mats. Before you even think about going in with a brush, you should gently run the wide-toothed side of the comb through their fur. This helps to locate and gently detangle any small knots before they escalate into a full-blown crisis. You use the comb to find the trouble spots, then you can work on them carefully. Think of yourself as a bomb disposal expert. Slow, steady, and precise movements are key. The comb allows you to get right down to the skin, ensuring there are no hidden tangles lurking in that dense undercoat. Skipping the comb is like trying to build a house without a foundation. The entire structure of your grooming session is destined to collapse into chaos and knots. This brings us to deadly mistake number 3, the full body assault. Okay, so you've set the mood, you've got the right tool, you gently place your cat on your lap and immediately go for the belly. Wrong! You are now the proud owner of a furry bear trap attached to your arm. The belly, the tail, and the back legs are often highly sensitive no-go zones for cats. They feel vulnerable when these areas are touched. Starting your brushing session in one of these spots is like starting a conversation with a stranger. By immediately asking for their bank account details, it's too much, too soon. You have to earn the right to brush the fluffy undercarriage. The strategy is to build trust by starting in areas where they already love to be petted. This creates a positive experience from the very first stroke and helps them relax into the session, making them more receptive when you eventually approach the more sensitive regions. So, where should you start? Follow the petting roadmap. Begin your brushing journey on their cheeks and behind their ears. These areas are packed with scent glands, and when cats rub against you, they are marking you as their territory. Brushing these spots mimics that pleasant sensation and often triggers an immediate purr. It tells them, this is just like petting, but better. Use short, gentle strokes, always moving in the direction of the fur. Once they are purring and relaxed, you can slowly and carefully expand your territory. It's a simple psychological trick. By starting with a guaranteed win, you build up a bank of goodwill. They associate the brush with a pleasant feeling, making them much more likely to tolerate you moving on to other areas. The cheeks are the gateway to a successful full-body groom. Master the cheeks and you master the cat. Once you've conquered the head and neck and your cat is a puddle of purring goo, it's time to level up to the back and sides. This is generally considered safe territory. Continue using those same short, gentle strokes, following the direction of hair growth. Pay attention to their body language. Are they still relaxed? Leaning into the brush? Great! You're doing a fantastic job. This is the main event of the brushing session, where you'll remove the bulk of the loose fur. Move slowly down their back, from the base of the neck towards the tail. If you encounter a small tangle, don't just rip through it. That's a surefire way to lose their trust. Instead, hold the fur at the base, close to the skin, to prevent pulling, and gently work the tangle out with your fingers or the wide-toothed end of a comb. Patience is your greatest virtue here. It's better to have a short, positive session than a long, traumatic one. Welcome, brave soul, to the expert level, the belly and the tail. These are the final bosses of cat grooming. The belly is a cat's most vulnerable area, protecting all their vital organs. That's why many cats instinctively react with claws and teeth when it's touched unexpectedly. The tail can also be very sensitive. You must approach these areas with the utmost caution and only if your cat is completely, 100% relaxed. For the belly, you might only get a few gentle strokes in before they tell you they've had enough. That's okay. Respect their boundaries. For the tail, avoid brushing it, like you would the rest of their body. The bones are delicate. Instead, if it's a fluffy tail, gently comb it out, being careful not to pull the hair. For some cats, you may never get permission to brush these areas, and that's fine. The goal is a happy cat, not a perfectly groomed one that now hates you. And that leads us straight into deadly mistake number 4, ignoring their secret language. Your cat is constantly communicating with you during a grooming session, but they don't use words. They use their ears, their tail, and their entire body. You need to become fluent in cat. A slow, swishing tail might mean they're feeling relaxed, but a tail that starts twitching or violently thrashing back and forth is a clear sign of agitation. It's the feline equivalent of a ticking time bomb. Ears that are forward and relaxed are good. Ears that flatten back against their head, like little airplane wings, mean they are angry or scared. Skin that suddenly starts twitching or rippling along their back is another sign of overstimulation. Ignoring these signals is like ignoring a stop sign on the highway. You are heading for a crash. Pay attention and you'll know exactly when to stop. Let's focus on the positive signals. How do you know if your cat is actually enjoying this? The most obvious sign, of course, is the glorious sound of purring. A deep, rumbling purr is the ultimate stamp of approval. Another great sign is if they lean into the brush, actively pushing against it to get more pressure. They might also start making biscuits or kneading with their paws, which is a sign of comfort and contentment that dates back to their kittenhood. Some cats will even drool a little bit when they're extremely happy and relaxed. If you see these signs, congratulations. You've achieved grooming nirvana. You're not just brushing your cat, you're providing a service they genuinely enjoy. Keep doing what you're doing and reinforce this positive behaviour with calm praise and a happy tone of voice. You've successfully hacked the feline brain. On the flip side, you must recognise the I am 5 seconds from ending you signals. We already mentioned the thrashing tail and airplane ears. Another huge one is a low, guttural growl or a hiss. This is not a suggestion, it's a final warning. Stop immediately. Don't try to push through it. If they suddenly turn their head to stare intently at the brush or your hand, that's also a precursor to an attack. Freezing in place or becoming suddenly tense is another indicator that they are no longer comfortable. The moment you see any of these signs, just stop. Put the brush down. Give them a gentle pet in a spot they like, if they allow it, and end the session on as positive a note as possible. Forcing them to endure it will only guarantee that the next session will be even worse. Short, happy sessions are infinitely better than one long, stressful fight. And now for our final and surprisingly common mistake. Deadly mistake number 5. Brushing against the grain. This seems like such a small thing, but to a cat, it can be incredibly irritating. Their fur is designed to lie smoothly in one direction. Brushing against that natural flow feels weird and uncomfortable, like someone constantly ruffling your hair the wrong way. It can pull and tug at the hair follicles and just feels wrong. Unless you are using a specific tool or technique recommended by a professional groomer for a specific purpose, you should always brush in the same direction that the fur grows. This means brushing from their head towards their tail and down their legs towards their paws. It's a simple rule, but following it ensures the experience is smooth, calming and pleasant, rather than jarring and annoying. It's a small detail that shows your cat you respect their natural state of being. So let's put it all together. What is the proper technique? Start with your cat in a calm mood. Use the right tool for their coat. Begin with a comb if they have long fur to check for tangles. Then switch to your main brush. Hold the brush at a slight angle and use short, gentle and confident strokes. Always move in the direction of hair growth. Start with the safe zones, like the cheeks and back. Talk to your cat in a calm, soothing voice throughout the process. You're such a good boy. Look at that handsome coat. Constantly monitor their body language for signs of enjoyment or distress. Keep the session short and sweet to start, especially if your cat is new to brushing. You can gradually increase the time as they become more comfortable. The goal isn't to get every single loose hair in one go. The goal is to build a positive, trusting routine. It's a marathon, not a sprint. What about the dreaded mats and tangles? This is where many cat parents go wrong. They find a knot and they try to rip right through it with the brush. This is extremely painful for the cat and can damage their skin. Mats are not just clumps of fur. They are tangled masses that pull tightly on the skin. When you find one, don't panic and don't attack. Your first step should be to try and gently tease it apart with your fingers. If it's a small knot, this might be all you need. If it's more stubborn, use the end tooth of a metal comb to gently pick it apart, bit by bit. Always hold the base of the mat against the skin to prevent painful pulling. If a mat is very tight and close to the skin, do not try to cut it out with scissors. It is incredibly easy to accidentally cut their skin, which is very thin. For severe matting, your best and safest option is to call a professional groomer or your vet. It's so important to understand the danger of mats. They are not just a cosmetic issue. A matted coat can be a serious health problem. The tight pulling on the skin is constantly painful for your cat. It can restrict their movement and make it painful to walk or lie down. Underneath the mat, the skin can't breathe. This creates a warm, moist environment that is a perfect breeding ground for bacteria and fungus, leading to nasty skin infections. Parasites like fleas and ticks love to hide in matted fur. In severe cases, mats can even cut off circulation. Preventing mats through regular, gentle grooming is one of the most important things you can do for your cat's health and comfort. You're not just making them look pretty, you are actively preventing them from being in pain. It's a crucial part of being a responsible cat parent. Throughout this whole process, there is one secret weapon that you must use liberally: positive reinforcement. I'm talking about treats. High-value, super tasty treats that your cat absolutely loves. The goal is to make your cat associate the brush with something amazing. Before the session, let them see the brush and give them a treat. After a few successful, calm strokes, give them another treat. When the session is over, give them a jackpot of treats. This creates a powerful psychological connection. Brush equals delicious snacks. Over time, they may even start to get excited when they see the brush, because they know it means their favourite goodies are coming. Praise and affection are also great reinforcers. It's all about making the entire experience as rewarding and pleasant as possible. You are essentially bribing your cat into compliance, and there is absolutely no shame in that. So, how often should you be doing this? It really depends on your cat's coat. For our long-haired friends, daily brushing is often necessary to prevent mats from forming. It doesn't have to be a long, intense session every day, but a quick 5-minute comb through can make all the difference. For cats with medium-length fur, A few times a week is usually sufficient, and for most short-haired cats, once a week is a great way to reduce shedding and keep their coat in top condition. The key is consistency. A little bit of brushing often is far more effective and less stressful for everyone involved than a long, difficult session once a month when the fur has already become a problem. Find a routine that works for you and your cat and stick to it. They are creatures of habit, and a predictable grooming schedule will help them accept it as a normal part of their week. Finally, think of your brushing sessions as more than just grooming. It's a weekly health check. As you gently brush your cat, you have the perfect opportunity to check them over for any potential issues. Run your hands over their body and feel for any unusual lumps or bumps under the skin. Part the fur and look for signs of fleas, ticks, or flea dirt, which looks like little black specks. Check their skin for any redness, rashes, scratches, or dry flaky patches. Notice if they seem particularly sensitive in one area, as this could indicate pain or an injury. By incorporating this quick check into your routine, you can catch potential health problems early on when they are much easier to treat. You are not just their stylist, you are their first line of defense in preventative healthcare. And that is the mark of a truly great cat parent. So there you have it. You are now officially a graduate of the Cat Brushing Academy. No more surprise ambushes, no more using the wrong tools, and no more ignoring that "I will end you" tail flick. You know how to create a Zen spa environment, speak fluent cat, and tackle tangles like a pro. Remember, brushing isn't just about preventing your black clothes from becoming 50% cat hair. It's a powerful tool for bonding, a critical health check, and a way to show your tiny, furry dictator that you love them. Even when they're knocking things off the counter just to watch them fall, it shows you care enough to understand their world. If this video helped you solve a brushing battle, please pounce on that like button and subscribe for more secrets from inside the feline mind. Share this with a friend whose cat currently thinks the brush is its mortal enemy. And for our final question, what's the most ridiculous hiding spot your cat has used to avoid a grooming session? Let us know in the comments below. Stay crazy, cat people!